Hello and welcome. Well, I'm on the bike again. Well, I've been riding my bike. I ride it probably lately on average, I gotta say, probably 3-4 times a week. Not big rides or anything. I've been too busy. And you probably know already what I've been busy with. Yeah, it's that truck in the driveway. It's been quite a challenge to do so many things on the same vehicle kind of at once and kind of in phases, you know. So today was actually the first time that I managed to start the truck like a normal truck with the key, with the ignition key, and so I'm quite excited. Today is also a day where the weather is pretty decent, so I'm taking the opportunity to go for a bike ride. And I don't know if you can see this, I got a backpack on, and that's my drone, because the whole damn weekend, I tell you, the weather wasn't good for it. So this is Monday evening and the weather is kind of much better. I won't say beautiful. There's still clouds. I mean, we do need the rain, definitely. But did you see all these cars that are decked out with flags and stuff? Yeah, there are at the Stanley Cup playoffs going on tonight in Edmonton. I think this is Game 7 of the second series. Oh, excuse me. And if Edmonton wins, they advance into the, what I think is the semifinals. Okay, I got a stop sign coming up here. I guess the rush hour is over. Yeah, I see I only have like 20-something% left on my battery, so we had a lot of cold weather and it's been up and down, you know. There were nice days even in at the end of March, but it just wouldn't stay. Just would last a day or two, and then boom, you know, there was another snowfall or whatever. And then lately it's been just dry for a while, but not always warm, you know. So yeah, that's how it is. And now it's windy. I don't know if you could tell. You could probably tell by the sound, because yeah, I got my mic on today for a change, give you a better sound experience, because I can do that. Alright, here the light isn't that great. I could see that on the screen, I think. So I'll talk to you once I get down the road a little bit more. So what you see is a sort of aerial view of the island I sometimes like to go to fly the drone. Now there's a duck down there. I don't know if you can see that. Now sometimes, I mean most of the time actually, I can walk right to that island even with shoes on. Today I could only do that with the Crocs on, and it's still a little bit chilly to wear the Crocs and shorts, so I can't really go to that island today. But I've decided I was going to ride the bike a little bit further and see if I can find a nice spot to launch my drone, because yeah, the weather is like sketchy, you know. It looks like it could rain any minute, which is typical for this time of year here in Edmonton. It's windy and it's not really spring-like, but it's sort of like, especially compared to what we've had. But yeah, it could be like way better next week or whatever, you know, but who wants to wait? It's nice enough out to just go for a ride and enjoy it. Trying to get down to the waterfront. This is Edmonton's river valley. So I might as well have the proper sound on and talk to you. See, I had a comment on my channel that I kind of took to heart because my channel originally started out as a bicycle touring channel. And, well, not really. There was a little bit of comedy before that, but it never really went very far. So then the bicycle touring stuff started. Ooh, there's like, looks like somebody's got a camp set up there. That shouldn't bother us, and I don't think it's even active anymore, but I'm just following this trail here. I was earlier hoping to catch a moving train on the bridge up there. And yeah, as soon as I decided there wasn't going to be any, a train passed the bridge. Look at this. Good Life Fitness. Quite the collection here. Yeah, I hope we're not barging in on somebody's camp, but I'm not going to worry about it too much. I think I might try to launch my drone from down there. Just a sec here. I'm going to find a tree to lean my bike. Yeah, so this channel started off as a bicycle touring channel, more or less, right? Cycling across Central America, cycling across Mexico, cycling across Canada. I've done all that. And I wouldn't miss it for the world. I want to do it again. But you know, sometimes when you're in a situation where you have to make a living, where life is just stable, and like I've never been successful earning a lot of money on YouTube, so my channel kind of doesn't have a niche. It just follows my life, whatever is going on in my life. And well, what you've seen me do lately is rebuilding this old pickup truck, and it probably came as a surprise because after my old truck got stolen, like I pretty much put this out of my mind, you know. Do I need a truck? No, maybe not. But the reality is, if I want to keep on paying my bills with what I'm doing, which is professional handyman work, home repairs, then yes, I need some kind of service vehicle for that. I've been using a Ford Focus, which isn't meant for it. But what you don't know about me is that all my cars that I ever had, I had always had my own car, except for this period in Edmonton where I didn't own any. But I can honestly say that none of my cars were ever bought brand new. They were always bought secondhand. And if I tell you, this pickup truck that I'm rebuilding now, that I've been at it for over 2 months now and put kind of quite a bit of money on it. I'm gonna make a video about this still, you can count on it. But this isn't the worst pickup that I ever bought, believe it or not. When I first moved to Canada, I bought a 1976 Dodge that needed a complete engine overhaul before I could ever even drive it, even just a little bit. Why did I do that? Because back in the day I didn't know any better, but I was ambitious enough and I was willing to do whatever it took. So back in the day it took $600 in parts and a line bore for the block that was that bad to get this truck even going, you know. After that, it was by no means perfect, but it was a means to get around. And yeah, that's what it stayed like for quite a while. Well, it was half-ass roadworthy, I would say. The ball joints weren't tight. There was the brakes, I always kept them maintained because obviously you need to have a way to stop. Might as well sit down here. And yeah, it went on from that, you know. I had always the oldest cars. I had one time a 1970 Chevelle, which used to be my uncle's car before, and basically when they got rid of it, that's when I took it over. And again, you know, there was a lot of stuff to repair on it, and it was usually done by me. And it's not because I knew everything, how to do everything. It's just because I went through whatever it took. Now the battery is flashing. This video isn't going to be as long as I was hoping, but I'm going to launch the drone from down here, and whatever you see after that without my face, I could still talk to you on the drone video there, you know. So that's another one of my passion, is flying the drone, and now working on perfecting my skills and getting better and better footage. I have now over 1,100 clips on Pond 5. Just right now, yeah, I'll be honest with you, this truck is taking up a lot of my time. And it's not gonna be permanent, but you could pretty much count on it that for the next couple of months still, you're gonna see a lot of that truck. And for those of you who are subscribed to my channel for bicycle videos and bicycle tutorials, perhaps bicycle trips, well, I really hope that I'll get around to that too, you know, because ultimately cycling is what made my life so much better, and it keeps on doing that. In 1982, I had a severe accident. I broke my left femur, and it got infected after a surgery. So once the bone gets infected, they call that osteomyelitis, and sometimes your immune system won't even know what's going on inside your bone. I thank antibiotics for my recovery, but that's not the whole story. I was always trying to get my leg up to snuff by exercising. There were a lot of exercises at the gym, weight-bearing exercises, and I get ambitious, right? When you do squats at the gym, well, you see these other guys, they have like 3 plates on their back on each side of the barbell. So I'm like, hey, I want to get there. And then I did this. This was like years and years ago in the 90s in Montreal. And of course I overdid it. I mean, who wouldn't, right? But in my case, it was just so much more serious because I still had osteomyelitis in my bone that was dormant inside of there. And guess what? It flared up. And it took the hospital in Montreal just about a week or so to diagnose this properly because of my story. Hey, I did squats at the gym and my leg is weird and it's swollen, and yeah, what they tell me, go home, take a anti-inflammatory like a aspirin or Tylenol or whatever, and then this will all get better. Well, guess what? 3 days later, I was running a fever. I had to go back to the hospital to get diagnosed properly, which then happened via a bone scan, and definitely it was the osteomyelitis. So I started a treatment and an 8-week hospital stay with 3 times daily intravenous antibiotics. And after those 8 weeks, after I got released, I had to continue antibiotics, oral antibiotics. Keflex is the name of the product, for a full 6 months. And after that recovery, there was no certainty for me. The doctor actually told me that we don't know what's going to happen. This could stay dormant for 30 years. And then one day when your immune system is down or whatever, you could get another flare up and you might be in bigger trouble that time around. If you're lucky, this will never flare up again. But if you're not so lucky, this could happen much sooner. Over the years, I have to say that cycling made all the difference in the recovery of my leg. It built up the leg in a way that no other exercises could, because, you know, there's always an imbalance with whatever exercises you do, whether it's weight-bearing exercises at the gym or whatever. But the bicycle comes closest to actually balancing this out. There are so many more things that I'd like to do on a bicycle, touring the bicycle, but at this present time, all I can afford is doing 2 months trips in the winter, and well, they're going to be different each winter. This winter we didn't do a big tour. We didn't even cycle all that much. And there's one regret that I have for all my tours that I did the regular way. This was that I didn't stay anywhere long enough. So
That's why we stayed in Puerto Vallarta a little bit longer. We got to know the place really well. And that in itself is kind of special once you discover it. Anyways, by now you may have noticed that this video didn't go exactly as planned.
I don't know if you realize this, but this video went wrong on so many levels. I ran out of battery on the GoPro camera, so then I recorded with my drone, and I was talking to you on the Tascam, this mic here. But then what happened is, at some point during the video, the whole thing just stopped recording because I guess the battery on that one died too. So this is just bad preparation on my part. And this is sometimes when you're not 100% focused on one thing, this is what happens. So I hope you enjoyed this video anyways. This is the reality of my life, guys. I got not one thing on the go. I sometimes wish I was a full-time YouTuber, but then again, how boring would that be? So if you haven't subscribed to my channel and you're curious about this stuff, what else is gonna happen and whatnot, well, here's your chance to subscribe. I will always have cycling related content, car related content, probably not. Drone related content, I have a second channel for that. And you know what? I also like to go down the river with the boat, and Barbara and I just recently got another boat. We'll be going down that river in an inflatable kayak. How awesome is that? I'm committed to this channel. I mean, I'm having a blast here. I'm starting to enjoy this more and more. Even it doesn't have to be perfect. That's the nice thing about YouTube. That's just authenticity is what matters the most. And I'll see you in the next video. And I'll be authentic all the time. Promise.